ripping my neck. Morning. That's 7:30. Just boiling some water for porridge. Decided to pardon me, I'm getting a bit blocked up. I've got a runny nose and a sore throat and like phlegm building up. Basically a wee bit of a cold. Probably from spending the past however many days, what was that, like 6 days or something? Can't remember. The past however many days just like being soaking wet all day with wet feet. But it is what it is, no big deal. Yeah, decided to lie in a little longer today because we had quite a lot of time in camp last night. That was 4 o'clock we stopped, so I didn't want to do that. And I spent ages like looking at routes again, and because I just didn't feel sleepy, so I didn't want to do that again tonight. So I decided, you know what, I'd rather lie in a wee bit longer and not have the urgency of getting away early, and just spend a little bit more time walking later on. So what am I trying to say? Last night I pondered over all the maps, and actually started, this is the first time I've done it, I plotted a route into my GPS by hand, which is pretty good. So the route I'm going off the Harvey maps, you know, they weren't downloaded from Walk Highlands, which, you remember I'd said I'd found some of them incomplete anyway, the GPX files. So I plotted the route in by hand into my GPS, which was quite easy to do actually. It's a great wee device. I'll do a review on that as well, so we'll look out for that on my channel. It's the Garmin, this guy, X-Trex 30X. I don't think you need the 30X because that's got Wi-Fi. And really the only thing the Wi-Fi is that good for is pairing up like a heart rate monitor and all that. I thought I'd be able to share data a lot more easily, but you can't. So the X-Trex 20, or I don't know if they do a 30 without the X, but the one without the Wi-Fi, the one down from that it'll be the same without the Wi-Fi, and that's more than adequate. They've got base maps on there, so you're able to like plot in your own routes, so that's ideal. I don't think the X-Trex 10 has that, so you probably want the 20 or 30 or some of the other fancier ones, but you know, they're reasonably priced as well. Brilliant just for seeing where you are, how many miles you're in you are, if you want to follow like waypoints, if you want to follow like routes that you've created or other people have created, of course it's ideal for that. And even if you just want to verify where you are in the map, you know, that gives you you just set it up to tell you, rather than the latitude and longitude, you set it up to give you the grid reference of your map. So you just look at it, it gives you the grid reference, you look at your map and you go, oh, that's real, exactly where I am. So 50 miles, and the plan is to go to this lair campsite. Now, depending on what time I get there, I might go a few miles on and wild camp. I might not, I don't know. That's the thing with it. The beauty of these trips, you can do what you want. But that's certainly the plan so far. 50 miles to lair campsite. So I'm going to make some porridge and get packed up. So the campsite's just down there, and you walk along the river edge, and you pick up this bridge. It shows on the map, but I wouldn't have been surprised if it was wrecked or something. I was half expecting to have to do a wee river crossing first thing in the morning again. Sometimes I find, a beastie right in my eyelashes, sometimes I find the likes of this happens, they put up these deer fences and the route goes through them, and it's a pure pain in the throps and you can't get around. So let's see what the script is here. There you can see a wee campsite just there. This is what I mean. There's the trail there coming up, and then it goes through there and up, and there's this fence here. So we're going to have to go back down to go through this gate here. It's a bit annoying. These aren't official trails or anything like that, so I don't think there's anything that they're doing necessarily wrong. It's just over time the route will take a different direction. I tell you, I'm impressed with the GPS though, this Garmin GPS base map. Even this trail here is marked on it, so when I looked at the map, I was able to plot my way along this. Apart from the Harvey map, this may as well not have been here, and I wouldn't have been able to plot it as easily on my GPS if it wasn't shown on the GPS, whereas I just followed it along. So I'm impressed that this is actually, these sort of trails are actually on my GPS base map. That is really good. I spent time, as I said, going over the maps and plotting it into my GPS. You don't have to do that, as I was saying. But what I do quite like is knowing how far I've got to go in certain stages. It does give you an ETA. I wouldn't go on that. It changes, it's variable by your current speed and all that, and it doesn't really seem to do as good a job on average. Or if you've been walking dead slow for miles and then you're a fast bit, it doesn't really take that into account. But knowing how far you've got to go is good. Just having the wee ping now and again. Yeah, I do like that, I must admit. I'd assume most of you that are watching this are quite experienced with navigation and GPS units and such. You might not be though, so I'm going to put this in to help out. Because that's one of the things I'm trying to do with all this. It's like help, basically. Have it as a bit of a guide as well as... Because I love going on YouTube and watching. If I'm planning on doing something or buying something, watching it, and so you can really get an idea of what you're facing before you actually do it or make the purchase. It's just it's brilliant, I love it. So that's what I'm trying to do with all this. So hopefully this will be some value to you. If you're coming out to do this and you're investing all your time and kit, £100–150 for a unit that will give you peace of mind when you're doing it, it'll keep you right, it'll keep you from making any major navigational boobs, I would say that's worth it, to be honest with you. Plus, this unit, and I don't know if for the 20 has it, it's got the base maps on it. Now, like I said, I was able to sit last night and plot my route on that track. Even there, that was listed on it. The Harvey maps are slices of the trail, of the environment. Check out the environment, talking about the environment. Pretty cool. They're slices of it. It's not like an OS map where you can see the mountains in the distance. So you can't look over there and go, right, that's that summit, that's that, and take a bearing off of them and then cross them out, that's where I am right there. You can't really do that because it doesn't have the map's not big enough, basically. OS maps, but then you're carrying maybe like 25 OS maps. So that's fine for the trail, but if something was to happen and I was at a random point now, I'm like, right, I need to get myself to the nearest road, or what's the shortest route to a town, and I only had the Harvey maps, I might not be able to do that. The nearest town I could see might be 12 miles that distance, but there might be a town 5 miles to the east that's not part of the route. Because the base maps are on this GPS, I can then plot escape routes on it. So that's another big reason why I've got it. So that if anything was to happen, I've got the facility, the ability there to go, like, what's the easiest way out here, and then plot myself a route to get there and to get out. Also have a spot device, but that's a personal location beacon, and you've got buttons you can hit that go straight to the emergency services. If you're in an emergency, if you're in trouble, it'll send a message to family and friends. Or you can just press a button, it'll say, here's my coordinates, and I don't know if it's maybe like a Google Maps link. I'm doing alright, here's my coordinates, and then you can set all sorts of stuff up. So really good stuff. As you can see from the river, you're basically constantly gaining in elevation. It's gradual though. Aye, it's gradual, and it's on this decent 4x4 track. No worries there, no grumbles with this at all. Eventually you come down and you can see the town over there. So we meet up one minor road and then
but a small road and then onto the A whatever for a section. I hope there's a path there. It would suck if there wasn't. If there isn't a path, I hope it's not too busy. As you can see, this isn't exactly the, this bit's alright, but it's not the bonniest of walking, but it's allowing us to catch up with myself a wee bit, basically. That's essentially what it is. I've only got so many days off work, so I just took the entire route and split it up amongst those days, and I was behind because that was 2 days there. It was only, what, 10 and a half, 11 mile a day. That section that you split into, the one where I stayed in the, was that the one where I stayed in the stalker's hut? Can't mind, but anyway, we're making good headway because of this, so I'm glad we're doing this route, and I'm glad I can be flexible like this. At the end of the day, we're still walking from Fort William to Cape Wrath, or is it Cape Wrath? This is the thing. I better check. And then you're down into a wee section of this road here, and you can see the town over there. Hopefully we can get something decent to eat there. That'd be awesome. Sounds good. Even Moss has got some treats.
Man. This was a cheese board, but I demolished it too quick. A bit of cheddar though. Straight, 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 straight.
I'd say as far as route alternatives go, this one pretty much sucks. I mean, the road's wide enough, but just being next to all this traffic is crap. And just what I've done, I've basically done a dog leg when I didn't need to. Could have cut the corner off. It's not like this is really that much shorter. I mean, it's like we're still going to do about a 17.5 mile day. Aye, there's not much to say about it. Crap road, crap alternative stage. It's a campsite tonight. I don't know what the campsite's going to be like, if it's just a patch of grass or if they've got any facilities. Flat bit of grass is good enough for me anyway. If they've got a toilet, even better. But we'll just try and crack on and get there and jig time and get off this road. In fact, this is where you must come out. Way better than walking that section of road that I have. I'd already started up the road. I could have turned back, it would only been 5 minutes. I noticed I'd went too far, missed the turning after about 5 minutes, but I just thought, oh, do you know what, I can't be bothered, I'll just keep going the road. I wish I'd made that backtrack for 5 minutes. It's not that big a deal, to be honest. It's just nice to be, it'd been nice to have been down in there. Moss was just in getting a wee drink there, weren't you? You getting a wee drink, were you? Yeah. So that's 12.3 miles we've done so far, and it's looking like it's going to be a 16 odd mile day. So that's alright. Yeah, this isn't too bad though actually. The scenery's, it's actually nicer looking down that way, because you've got those hills. Campsite doesn't really look open. I'm going to go and camp down there. So we're just going to try and find somewhere to camp around here. Unfortunately the railway is right next to the road here and the river's down there, but we can't cross it because you get fined heavy duty style if you cross the railway, and you need to jump fences and all that. It's just not worth it. So I'm going to come up into here a wee bit and try and get camped. I don't want to go too high. I don't like camping high up because of the temperature difference. Bloody hell, look. You've only walked 17.5 miles and now you want to play. Go and get it then. God's sake. She was kidding on to be all tired a minute ago as well. When I'm going to get somewhere decent to pitch the tent here though, on a hillside in woods, I don't know. But we'll find somewhere and make do. Again, it's good that I've got the ground sheet, because these little jaggy sticks might poke a hole in the bottom. Somewhere like this would be good if only it was flat. But anyway, let's go. This isn't ideal. That campsite, it looked closed, there's nobody about. The thing was locked. There's no sign to say put £3 in this box and camp down there. There's no information. I wasn't sure if it was closed. Wasn't sure what you were meant to do. It just didn't feel right. There's a nice, there's a tap with running water. Although I tasted some of the water, hadn't been used for ages. It was minging. You'd had to let that run for a good 20 minutes. And there's a nice pitched bit, but you don't know if you're doing the right thing. I wouldn't have felt comfortable without knowing it was okay to camp there. So I went down to the riverside and I was about to camp there, but here a tractor came bundling along, and then I was like, is this even the right campsite? Because it said Ashna whatever campsite, whereas on the map it says Lair. So I thought maybe I'm just not quite up far enough and there's a new campsite just up the road. So I got the bag back on, walked up the road, and then there was nothing, so I just kept going to come to where we start heading up the hill to go over to Kinloch. I need some water though. I'm going to fill up some water here. I went back to using my Sawyer squeeze as well, because the MSR thing, the flow rate stopped being as good, like after a few uses, despite me clearing the filter like after every use. And then it was taking like over 100 pumps to get a litre, or maybe even more. Whatever it was, my forearms were pumped it like anything after trying to get 1 litre, and I was having to switch hands, and it was honestly getting tiring and, you know, knackering my hands out. The Sawyer squeeze, you can squeeze the bag, it's not taxing, you just need to roll it up and put a gentle bit of pressure. It takes a while with a mini filter, but it gets there. The sort of gauze in the bottom of the MSR hose, that clogged up, so I had to back flush that. So there's a lot of components for things to bog up, and it was taking ages, and it was really taxing compared to the Sawyer squeeze. So yeah, I'm back to using this, so I'm glad I actually took this along as well. I wouldn't have came out with anything that I hadn't tested. So yeah, the MSR is just going to be a day trip thing, I think. So this is how I'm currently setting up my duplex in windy conditions. The wind's actually died down a bit. It was pouring rain and dead windy. I had to cover everything up. I've covered the dog with my ground sheet. But that's how I set up the duplex just now in the wind. Map time, 17.78 miles. Where did we come from? Where are we now? We started off here at the campsite next to the river, walked up, crossed the bridge, along up, there's the deer fence, long gradual ascent up to this point, and drop down a forest. There's loads of forestry operations here, muddy as anything, but it's alright. Then a 4x4 track, hard packed down onto a tarmac road, then along this busy as anything road here to the tea room where we got lunch / dinner, and then we kept coming along to Strathcarron. Strathcarron's here. We were meant to go along here, but I missed this. I don't know, I was maybe on my phone, was I getting reception or something, and I walked up a bit. Pardon me. By the time I got here, I went, oh, do you know what, I can't be bothered backtracking, I'm just going to walk up and go along. I wish I had backtracked to 5 minutes, because it's just all a full busy road. All of this is a busy as anything road. It's Timverness, so it's a big wide road, and there's like a wee hard shoulder that you can walk in. It's fine, people can overtake easily enough, but this is a single track road with passing places. So with the dog, if it's just you, it would be fine, because you just walk in close. But with the dog, she always walks in the left of me when I'm facing oncoming traffic. That's a problem. So I was having to teach her a new command to tell her to follow, so we would walk in single file. Of course, because it was a new command, she was just learning on the fly.
she wasn't always following it, so it was a bit stressful at times. All along here, and we were aiming for this campsite here. Now we got to here, see that how there's a little road, another little road comes down here. We got to here and it said there was like a campsite sort of thing there. The thing was locked, it looked ancient as if it hadn't been used for ages. There was that green square, that is a flat bit of grass, and there's a tap next to it, so I assumed that was where the pitches are. But I didn't want to just pitch up in someone's land without knowing for sure or asking. And then I thought, well, it shows it there, is it maybe further along and I've just missed out? And I seen this road coming down here, so I thought, do you know what, I'll go back up and walk along and look for it. Maybe it's this is an old one and they've got a newer one here. Walked up here, didn't see anything, thought, do you know what, I can't be bothered with this, I'm just going to keep going. And I walked along here. This is an old pony track. So I'd went into here and I was looking for campsites, couldn't find anything, eventually came over and I'm on the riverside. So I'm just basically here at the riverside, and then I'm going to head up here all the way over to Kinlochhu.